Oops, I did it again. I misspoke about something when I was explaining this. In the previous video, I mentioned that the images appear and reappear. Like, for example, image 1, it does that from 0 to 4 seconds. Well, it's actually 0 to 5 seconds to correspond with how I have it set up here. So we're leaving it up to our browser to figure out what goes on between 0 and 25%. If you recall, it starts off with a 0 opacity, and then at 25%, we tell it to have an opacity of 1. Well, your web browser figures out what to do with it between 0 and 5 seconds. That's what you're seeing here. I didn't have to specify all this graying out and all that stuff going on there. The web browser is doing that for me just from me indicating or using that keyframes declaration that I used. So again, that was 0 to 5 seconds. And then from 5 to 8, it starts going from an opacity of 1 to an opacity of 0. Now, the second image, this is where the staggering happens. It actually starts reappearing 1 second before the first image fully becomes 100% opaque. Okay, so that's that. Let's start fixing this situation here. We will create the photo selector that we have applied to the images. Actually, let's do large first. Large is what's controlling the width and height of the images. Instead of us having to specify a width and height attribute, we're using that. Let's do that. Go to the bottom of your CSS, we'll do dot large. And this would be just for the width and height of these images. The width for these bigger images, the large images, is 1200 pixels by 500, 573 pixels for the height. Okay, so that takes care of that. Then we'll do the photo class selector. The thing that will make them stack on top of each other instead of being like this is position absolute. Save and refresh. And that's what we get now. All the images are stacked on top of each other this way. That's why you don't have them vertically taking up the space anymore. Image 1 is right at the very bottom, and then on top of that is image 2, followed by image 3, followed by image 4, and then what you see here is the 5th image. Next, we want to start with an opacity of 0. That will do this. It will make the images invisible because they have an opacity of 0. Now I see that that might be a problem later on as images are appearing and reappearing. We're going to see the background pattern there. Well, in my example, you don't see that because I placed a white background. So we need to do that. Let's put a background color to the entire top portion of our web page, this div right here. We'll just create a class called sub, because I can't think of a clever name for it. Sub doesn't even make sense now that I think about that. Let's do white. No. Oh man, I can't think. Help me out here. Anybody? Yeah, like I'm gonna hear what you say, right? Let's do slide. Joe. I don't know. I'm out of ideas. Let's just go with that. Slideshow. Maybe sub would have been good too. Okay, slideshow. We'll say, I don't even remember what we're doing. What are we doing? Oh, the background color. Background, white. Save that.